Come here. Come here. Yeah, come on. Come this way. Where you going? You gotta stop and get some water? Oh wow. Come this way. Come on. Come on.
Good morning, happy Sunday, guys. It's the weekend. Woo! Okay, so Ben is at church. It was like pouring down rain this morning. He was going to take the subway, but you know, he has all his gear and all that stuff, and you know, we have one car, so he went ahead and took the car. So Harper and I, because it's raining and pouring, I can't push him all dressed and him dressed to the subway, so we didn't get to go to church this morning. Sad face. But that's all right. We'll go next week, and we're having a good time at home. So I actually haven't eaten any breakfast yet. I know. And I'm just like feeling kind of hungry, and I just want something delicious and fall-like. And yeah, so I decided I'm going to make my pumpkin paleo cookies. They're gluten-free and dairy-free. Now I'm going to add chocolate chips to mine, which makes them not dairy-free anymore. But you can eliminate those or get dairy-free chocolate chips, which they have. And I'm not going to add that many of them, but I am going to add a few. So I was going to show you what's in them. I will pop a link to my channel, My Fitspiration. I have a video from like 2012, like a long time ago, where we made these cookies, and it shows you exactly how to do it, the recipe. They're so good. And the thing I love about these, you can really kind of add any extras that you want, and it really doesn't change the outcome, and as a matter of fact, it makes it more delicious in my opinion. So I'm going to show you what's in them. The bulk of the base is almond flour, but I got this coconut flour, and I think I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to do half and half, see how it goes. Also, for dry ingredients, you need a little bit of baking soda. The sweetener is in the original recipe, I mean, obviously this makes it not paleo, but in the original recipe, you can add real maple syrup. I do the sugar-free. I know it's got chemicals and stuff in it, but that's just, for me, I don't need the extra sugar, especially since I'm going to use the chocolate chips. So I just have some sugar-free maple syrup. Some coconut oil is your fat. Pumpkin pie spice. Vanilla. 1 mashed banana. And pumpkin. That's all like the necessary stuff to make the pumpkin cookies. I'm going to add a little bit of dark chocolate chips, a little bit of dried cranberries, and just a teeny tiny little bit of oatmeal. And that's like the quick cook kind. I don't want to add too much because it'll make it dry. But I think it might add a nice little texture. So I'm going to pop the ingredient, or like I said, the link to the video that has the recipe and everything in it. And yeah, I'm going to get making that. I'll show you kind of as we go, like what, you do all the dry ingredients together and then all the wet ingredients and then combine them together like regular cookies. But they're delicious. I make them every year around this time. Also, I have to add in this little hilarious pumpkin story. So when I first married Ben, I was like, wanting to do all the things that I did growing up, like at the holidays. Like I went to his parents' house and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, my mom makes the most famous pumpkin pie ever. It is the most delicious pumpkin pie I've ever had. And it's her recipe. She's made it for 1,000,000 years. It turns out amazing every year. And I was so excited to make it for my in-laws. So, because they were coming for Thanksgiving. So I was like, oh, and my in-laws were like so excited about this, like pumpkin pie, and like Ben was so excited. So I finally like, get to the point where I'm like, I need to get all my ingredients. I'm gonna call my mom. It's like, Mom, I was like, I need your pumpkin pie recipe. I'm so excited. I'm gonna make it for Bennett and Dilly and their family and everything. And I was like, so I need like your recipe. My mom was like, oh yeah, it's really easy. I was like, yeah, I know you always say it's super easy, but I want to get the recipe. So can you like email it to me or whatever? She's like, oh no, it's just on the back of the Libby's can, the Libby's pumpkin can. And I was like, what? She was like, oh yeah, I just used the recipe on the back of the Libby's can. So my mom's famous pumpkin pie recipe is on the back of the can. We must have laughed, and I was like, I've been bragging on this dumb pumpkin pie for like a year, saying that it's like, worthy of like, the Great Pillsbury Bake Off, like, and it's on the back of the can. I just think that's hilarious. But yes, that is an incredible recipe. It's easy. I make it every year. It turns out perfect every single time. Like, I've never made it. I've been making that for like, almost 20 years. Every year I make one, and it turns out amazing. So just a little tidbit. If you have any funny stories like that, leave them in the comments, because I just think stuff like that is hysterical. So there's an always ongoing joke about Betsy's famous pumpkin pie, which is really just the one on the back of the Libby's can. So yeah, so I'm going to get going on this. I'll show y'all as we kind of go, and let's make some cookies. Woo! Alright, so we got all the wet ingredients together. I was just going to show you. This is the banana, the pumpkin, the syrup, the vanilla, and the coconut oil. And as you can see, there's still some chunks from the banana. It's totally fine. It's just going to hold moisture that much better. So now, let's do the dry ingredients. Okay, dry ingredients are in: salt, baking soda, 1 cup of almond flour, or 2. If you're just going to use almond flour, you can use 2 cups. 1 cup of almond flour. I added the cup of coconut flour just to like try it out. The baking soda. And then of course I added a little bit, maybe about half, a third a cup, quarter cup, in between those two, of quick cut oats, and about a half cup of dried cranberries, which are amazing. And then at the very end, I'll fold in the chocolate chips. They're a little more delicate. So I'm going to stir all this up, stir it all together, and get going. Making our cookies. I'm so excited. Okay, so batter is done. Yeah. The great thing about this, and I know some of you bakers, as you were probably watching that last little bit, are probably like, oh my gosh, there's no gluten in this, so you don't have to worry about over mixing. Really and truly, it's so easy. You really can't mess this up. So now I'm just going to put it on the little sheet pan. It does take about 20 to 25 minutes, depending on your oven, to cook. And then we'll be having some cookies, and I'll be having these for breakfast, even though it is almost lunchtime. So yeah. I'll show you the final product once they're done. I like to make big cookies. It's just how I do it. Also, that way you don't have tons and tons and tons left over. That's how I justify eating all the cookies. Yeah. So anyways, so this is really, really great. And you could take out the chocolate, add nuts. You could add, I've even added before, for a little bit more moisture, I've added pineapple, like crushed pineapple, sauteed apples are delicious. And I mean, you could like turn this into whatever you want. So it's a really versatile recipe for this time of year. It's great, especially if you have people coming over, because everybody these days has some kind of like, allergy or whatever. Obviously you're using nuts, so make sure they don't have a nut allergy, but it's a really great recipe to have in your back pocket. I love it. So yeah, packed full of protein. So yeah, let's see how this goes. coffee round 2 while the cookies bake at 350 for 20 minutes. Looking good in there. I only got 4 in there right now. I'll make another batch when those are done. So excited. BB, are you excited? Are you excited? Can you say hello to everyone? Can you say hello to everyone? Good morning, sweet girl. You're the sweetest little angel face. Have you ever seen such an angel face? Have you ever seen such an angel face? You blend in with the floor. It's like camouflage. It's like camouflage. She's so sweet. Here we go. I'm gonna drink that, watch the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, hang with Harper, eat some cookies. So the first batch is done and out of the oven, and they look really good. I will say though, they look a little more dry than usual, and I think that could be a combination of things. One, I added a little bit of oatmeal. Also, the coconut flour seems to be a little bit more dry than the almond flour. So, if you make these cookies, stick to the recipe that we post below, and I know those come out foolproof. This recipe, this is them out. They still look amazing, but as you can see, just a little bit dry. Now they look very cakey on the inside, and these are more cakey cookies. They're not like, you know, really ooey gooey because they don't have a lot of like eggs and butter and all that in it, but they're still delicious. I guarantee you they're going to taste amazing. But just so you know, that's kind of my thoughts on this tweak of it. And I'm going to continue to work on it. It may need another banana or a little more pumpkin or, I don't know, something else to like add a little more moisture to that coconut flour. But I like the idea of mixing the two. But yeah, there they are. That's the first batch. They're very thick. As you can see, they're very tall and thick. You can also press them down a little bit more, cook them a little less. That maybe would have changed it. But yeah, that's the fun thing about baking and cooking. You make things, you experiment, you tweak it, and, you know, it's so much more fun than just buying, you know, basic pumpkin cookies at the grocery store. So I'm excited. Harper and I are going to have some cookies, and hope you guys are having a good day, good weekend. It is very fall and gorgeous outside. I don't know if you could see. It's very sarcastic. It's raining. I do have a candle lit, though, which is nice. And, yeah, we're going to have some cookies and just chill. Cuddle with my baby.
Guys, happy Sunday. I hope you're having a really good one. It is nasty weather here in New York. And so it's just let up raining maybe for a little bit, and maybe that's it. But it is cool, so I'm wearing a sweater. Yada, yada, yada. So I had a long morning today at church, which was really great, actually. A lot of new musicians, a lot of all those kinds of things. And then I think you might have seen, if you follow Olivia on Instagram, which you should, at the O-Bird, she posted a little sneak peek of a Harper's photo shoot from last week. That's because the guy David, who took the photos, which you saw last week in the vlog, he plays drums for me. And so I saw him and he was like, "You want to see the photos? Do you want to see the photos?" And I was like, "Why, yes, I do." And so I sent it to Olivia and was like, Olivia's just like, "Can I post it?" And I was like, "Yes, you can." So we're really excited. We gotta, you know, when you have so many photos in the digital photo age, you have to go through and figure out which ones you want and that kind of thing. So there's a lot of really cool things there. And it's just so great to see him growing up and just loving life. It's been great. We actually took him to the playground of the mall yesterday, and he just, right now, it is just amazing to see how excited he gets around other kids and wants to play with other kids. And this is just so new to him, and being able to walk is so new to him. I mean, he's just like, ah, like literally out loud. And so it's just so awesome. So it's really good. So yeah, so you got to see a few of those pictures there in and out. I'll give you a glimpse of them, but it's been a really good day. And I just wanted to kind of encourage you. Something I've been thinking a lot about is sort of this metaphor. You know, it is Sunday, so, you know. I've been thinking about this metaphor of sowing and reaping. Now, do you know what that means? It's really, you hear it in scripture a lot in the Bible, but it also is just a farming term, really. I'm going to sow a seed into the ground, and then if it's a good seed and it's watered and it's taken care of, then I'm going to reap good fruit. Make sense? Pretty simple. Sowing and reaping. And so there's this great scripture in the book of Galatians in the Bible that talks about how, do not be deceived, God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. And you know, so many people use that as negative, but if you continue to read there, it does have a negative connotation. If you sow bad seed, you're gonna reap bad seed. But it also has it actually is more positive than it is negative. That's how I read it, is that if you sow good things, if you sow to the Spirit, as the scripture says, or if you sow good things, then you're gonna reap good fruit. And I always think about this, particularly with music and practicing, because that's my job and that's what I do, is that you may think you're not making a lot of progress, but if you show up every day and you practice and you work on it and all this kind of stuff, you will get better. You will see things happen. That could happen anything in your life that way. And so I've just really been thinking about that. I just want to encourage you with that today. Whatever you're going through in your life, whatever project that you feel might be stalled, that's not worth working on, work on it. You will reap what you sow. It's a promise. So, my 2 cents. Love you guys.
Okay, so it's been like a handful of hours later. Update on the cookies. You know, I said they were dry. They're dry on the outside, but then like really dense and moist and delicious on the inside. So, I think it kind of depends on what you're looking for. They're more cakey the other way. But, oh, man, they are good. They're still sitting here. I might have to have one more before I go ride, considering all I've had is 2 cookies today. That's all I've eaten today. Just pumpkin cookies. I might need one more. Why not? You know, just put it in before I go get on the bike. Yeah, so just a little update on that. We also, I'm sure you saw by now, Harper's When Your Pictures, we got some sneak peeks. They are so cute. I'm like dying to see the rest. I'm like dying. So anyways, we're going to head in. Do you want to try one of these cookies?
Yes.
Why don't you try one? Pick one and then try and tell me what you think.
I like it.
You like it? What's different about it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean...
Are you still asleep? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's really good. It's not that different, to be honest with you.
Really? See, I think it tastes the texture is very different on the outside.
Yeah.
But it's more like a cookie on the outside. It's more like dry.
The other thing is we usually eat them when they're still kind of warmy.
Yeah.
And these are like they should be cool. And so it's hard to judge apples to apples. You know what I mean? But they're delicious.
There's also some extra stuff in there like oatmeal and dried cranberries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the cranberries. I can taste the cranberries. That's delicious.
Is it like fall in a cookie?
Mm-hmm.
Harper, are you ready to go to sleep? Are you ready to go to sleepies? You so sleepy? Mommy, are you ready to go to sleep?
Oh my gosh. Look what I look like. Am I ready to go to sleep?
Me too.
Yes.
I think we're all 3 very ready to go to sleep. It's been a long Sunday.
It's been a crazy weekend.
Crazy weekend.
Like.
It's been good though, so we're gonna say goodbye. Can you say goodnight to everybody?
See you night.
Say night.
See you
Oh. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.